Curtis, this year, as the drought has continued, people started off the year short of hay, and they've continued to have to bale, forage resources to get at least a nucleus of cows through the winter. In fact, there's a few people having to start feeding hay now. Of course, a lot of people have already depopulated and sold a few, if not a lot, of cows. But with the limited harvested forage available to get folks through the fall and the winter, folks are really struggling to find those forage resources. I had a call from a Noble County producer here just late last week, and his comment was that, we're seeing folks offer milo or sorghum stubble for sale. We're considering baling soybeans, failed soybeans for hay. And then we had another call from another producer that was curious about the opportunity to either graze or bale a failed cotton crop. And so there's just going to be a lot of different hay products on the market this year. And folks just need to be very in tune with, the knowledge required to understand the value of that forage to begin with, and secondly, an appropriate supplementation program, if one's required, to make sure that those cows stay in good body condition, and can be productive the following year. We sure don't want a bunch of thin cows next spring.
And one of the important things about, finding out that value of that hay is testing.
Oh, of course. Yeah, and just because there's Bermuda grass hay for sale doesn't mean it's going to be 8% protein and 55% TDN. This year, there's going to be some, maybe some, let's say, non-grazed areas that are not traditionally harvested that were baled this year in September, might not have been baled for 3 or 4 or 5 years.
And we've talked about this a few weeks ago about testing for toxins in the hay as well. Is that going to be a problem going into the winter, given, baling hay that's from forage resources that's not usually baled?
Of course. Producers need to be knowledgeable of what forage types are, we'll call it nitrate provocative. Okay, if you know what those types of forages are, sorghum sudan is probably the most common one we see here in Oklahoma, but there are other forages too, and they need to know that when they purchase that forage, or before they purchase it, the best thing to do is have a nitrate test so they know what they've got.
There is some good news. OSU Extension is offering some resources to help producers this year when it comes to hay testing.
Yeah, hay testing generally is not terribly expensive, but the tests that we have here at our laboratory at OSU that gives you protein and energy, which everybody needs both of those this year to really understand what quality of forage you have available. Both protein and energy, that normally costs $14. With this discount, with this opportunity, it's only going to cost $4 a sample. That's a tremendous bargain. Yeah, I believe the nitrate test is only $2 a sample, so don't let the cost of the forage test be a deterrent to having, more knowledge to make a good decision.
In regards to actual hay testing, producers can always contact their local extension office, and county educators can assist them with making those management strategies.
They can be very helpful, and this year is more important than ever because, those extension educators know the forage is being harvested in their area. They know the costs, commodities available. They also know how to help people with that forage test. They know how to help people with diet evaluation using our software program. So they can be a lot of help in terms of helping them make good decisions.
Alrighty, thanks, Dave. Dr. Dave Lawman, Extension Beef Cattle Specialist here at Oklahoma State University. And if you'd like some information on the discounts that OSU Extension's offering for hay testing, go to our website, sunup.okstate.edu.